All right, guys, you're still welcome, very much welcome. This is question 30, and we are still on the challenge. We are still solving problems on differentiation. Like I told you, we still have much more questions to solve. Put your, how do you say it? You say sit up, or how do you say it again? I don't know how you say it, but sit up, right? And you still look out for more questions. And let me also tell you, if you have any question on differentiation that is like a nightmare for you, put it down in the comment section, or you send it to my WhatsApp handle. I know some of you already have my contacts. If you don't have my contacts, just check on the description of this channel. You'll find my WhatsApp handle. Send me the question that is bothering you, and you're going to see that in the next video. So now let's go right into this problem and see what we can do here. So it says differentiation, or sorry, this should be differentiate. Sorry, this should be differentiate. Sorry, not differentiation. This should be differentiate x squared minus 1 upon x all squared with respect to x. So just to make life easy for me, I'll say let y be equal to this quantity, just to make life easy for me. So I'm saying let y be equal to this guy. So now I have y is equal to x squared minus 1 upon x, then all to the power 2. We've solved something similar to this, but not exactly this particular question. Remember, I told you, if you have fractions like this, and if it's possible for you to put it in an index form, do not hesitate to do that. So what I mean is that now we are having 1 over x. We are going to transform 1 over x to be x to the negative 1. I think you remember all this stuff, right, from indices. So let's say if I have 1 over x squared, that will be the same as x to the negative 2. You get it? All right, so now let's go back to this problem. So now I have y equal to x squared minus x to the negative 1 all squared. Yes, you want to ask me, why do we have to transform this fraction to this index form? Because when we differentiate polynomial functions like this, we are interested in the power. So we want to make use of the power. We can't make use of this fraction like this. It's not making sense when you want to differentiate polynomial function. That's why I have to transform it to this form. Okay, so now let's go ahead and differentiate this guy. So I told you in the previous video, whenever you have power expressions like this, what would you make use of? You make use of the chain rule. You make use of chain rule. And I'm sure you still remember how to go about solving, utilizing chain rule, right? So that will become, you can see now y is expressed in the terms of x, right? So I'm going to differentiate y with respect to x. And that will become, this 2 is going to multiply this base. So we have 2 into x squared minus x minus 1. And the next thing to do is to remove 1 from 2, and that is just 1. It's not necessary writing 1 here. It's not necessary because a to the power 1 is that same thing without it as a power. So I'm going to remove the 1. Okay, I hope that is fine with you. Now, that is not all. You still go back and differentiate these guys inside this function. So in other words, you're going to differentiate x squared minus x to the minus 1. So let's differentiate those stuff. When you differentiate x squared, what did you get? You get 2x. And when you differentiate x to the negative 1, what would you get? Remember, the negative 1 is going to affect this negative sign here. So that will become plus, and that will become x to the negative 2. I hope you can relate. I hope this stuff is clear. If you're having doubts, if you don't understand how I go about it, let me know in the comment section. All I just did here was, you know how I told you how to differentiate, right? You have x to the n. The n has, when you want to differentiate this stuff, the n has to multiply the base. So you have nx, you remove 1 from the power n minus 1. I have to be saying this stuff every time again, because of those joining us at this very, this could be their first time seeing our videos online. So that is what I did here. So this minus 1 you see here multiplies the negative x. That becomes positive x. Then I remove 1 from the negative 1, and that is negative 2. So from this very point, if you look at the option, we don't have any stuff looking like this. That means they really want us to expand. They want us to remove this bracket. So now let's do that real quick. So quickly, I'll just say 2 times x and 2 times this stuff here. So I have 2x squared minus 2x to the negative 1 times 2x plus x to the negative 2, right? So the next thing to do is to distribute from here. So let's do it up here. 2x squared times 2x, that will give us 4x cubed. Then 2x squared times this stuff here, that will give us, let me show you what's going to happen there. That will be 2x, when you're multiplying x squared times x to the negative 2, what is going to happen here? They are multiplied. You're going to add the exponent. So that becomes x to the 2 plus minus 2. And that is the same as 2 minus 2, which is 0. So that's going to be x to the 0. And that is just 1. So this will give us 0. And that is going to be 1 at the end of the day. So just to take a deep breath before we continue, what we have just done so far, remember we differentiated applying chain rule. And now we are just expanding. We are only just expanding. So the first thing I did was multiplying 2x squared and 2x. That gave me 4x cubed. Then I'm multiplying 2x squared times x to the negative 2. And that gave me 2x to the 0. Hope it's clear. So this other one will give us minus. Now we're multiplying this stuff and this one. So minus 2x to the negative 1 times 2x will give us minus 4x to the 0. Just like the way I explained, you can just go ahead and figure it out yourself. So the next will be minus 2 times this stuff. That will give us minus 2 x to the negative 3. All right, so that is what to do here. So now let's go ahead and clean up this stuff. So we have 4x cubed. This is just going to be 2. This is going to be minus 4. And this is going to be 2. This whole stuff is the same as 1 over x cubed, right? You remember? Then if you simplify further, 2 minus 4 is going to give us 4x cubed minus 2 upon x cubed. So this is our final answer. Let's see if we have any stuff like this on the screen. Yeah, this is still option A. This is still option A. So guys, we've come to the end of this particular problem, and this problem needs you to understand how to work with your laws of indices or your exponential laws, how you call it. So if you're having problems with indices, you can check through our video. You'll find a video that will help you on your indices, and that will be much more better if you know how to solve problems on indices. I mean, remembering the laws of indices and the rest of it. So guys, I'm sure this is helpful. If it is, please put it down in the comment section. Tell me how much this video has helped you in your preparation, and I'll see you in the next class. So bye for now and God bless.